Hi everyone, welcome to A Beer with Brad, episode 55. Have my mug out so we know it's Oktoberfest season. Got a bunch of Oktoberfest beers here, but today I'm drinking a Hold My Pretzel from Single Speed Brewing Company over in Iowa. No reason I picked this over any of the others except for the name. You know, I always like a good beer name. You go to a lot of the Oktoberfest celebrations and you will see pretzels there. So I just thought it was a great name. Hold My Pretzel from Single Speed Brewing Company. So some of the others I have, Pint 9 from Papillion, La Vista, Nebraska. Full Fledged in Council Bluffs there, Oktoberfest. Millstream from Amana, Iowa. Like I said, Hold My Pretzel from Single Speed in Iowa, and then you got here is the Site One Brewing Oktoberfest. So, and there's more. You know, I saw a dozen more that I could have picked from smaller local craft breweries, plus all the national craft breweries. So there's no shortage of Oktoberfest out right now. One other quick note: Empyrean has a limited release of their Lunacy ESB. If you go to the brewery in Lincoln or any of their tap rooms, they always have Lunacy on tap, but very rarely do you see it in the cans. Empyrean is one of the first craft breweries, or I think it was the first craft brewery I ever had a beer from. It was a Third Stone Brown. I think it's one of my older Beer with Brad videos, but it's been a long time since I had a Lunacy, so since this came out as a limited release, I thought I better grab a 6-pack and try it. We'll see if it's as good as I remember, or if it's, you know, times have changed and I've moved on to different beers. ESB stands for Extra Special Bitter, so looking forward to trying that one of these days. So it's Labor Day weekend. Happy Labor Day, everyone. I'm actually recording this in the middle of the afternoon instead of late at night like usual. Family is gone out with some friends, so I figured I'm going to knock this video out real quick on Labor Day. It's been a busy month. I've had a lot of photo shoots in the last few weeks. Just got done editing and sending off one of the big photo shoots that I did of a restaurant. Got that done. I have one more to edit for a nice sized house up in the hills north of town. A really cool place, really cool like lot with the trees and all that. Looking forward to editing those photos. And then I still have 2 photo shoots that I should have done this weekend, but it's been raining the entire Labor Day weekend pretty much. And even when it's not raining, it's been kind of cloudy, overcast, and both of them I need some sun. So I was hoping to do one this morning at sunrise, and I've been hoping to do the other one at sunset over the last several days, and it just has not worked out. So hopefully, it's supposed to be a beautiful week, get those knocked out. So a little follow-up to last month's video. Don't forget that this weekend is the Rockbrook Village Art Fair, Saturday 10 to 6, Sunday 10 to 5. Last video, last Beer with Brad, I'll link it up here in the corner. I talked about what to do with. I have a ton of photos that are either old or don't sell, and I really, really want to be bringing new photos to the art fair. I've brought some of these photos I've brought for a decade now, and they just don't sell. That, like I said last month, watch last month's video if you haven't. I just looked at the numbers. Hardly anyone's watched the last 2 Beer with Brads have been really low. The one before that was a firework one, which I thought a lot of people that have asked questions about fireworks would have really been interested in, but I mean, that almost no one has watched that. And then the last month, same thing. So if you want to go back and watch the other one first, I have like this size print back here that just doesn't sell. I have a lot of old random stuff that are from the gallery days. It's been almost a decade since I've been in the gallery, and I need to clear out things. So I'm going to, well, I got it right here. I'm borrowing some colorful stickers from my children, and I will be marking down prices on a lot of these things that I need to get rid of so that I have room next year for the art fairs to have new items. So print like this. This one is dry mounted and matted. I've had it so long that it has a business card in the back that is it has an address from a house that I haven't lived in since 2011. Now it's 2025. So to be fair, this stack of pictures has been sitting in a box in the basement since we moved into this house, and I have not touched them. I have not brought them to the art fair. But the thing with these, the different thing is these are mounted. They're dry mounted and matted, and they're ready to go into a frame. This will fit a 16 by 20 frame. So The acid-free mats, so this little cut line around the edge will never yellow. If you see a picture that has a yellow line right here, it's not an acid-free mat. It's just a cheap, like hobby store mat. So always use the acid-free mats. Every photographer should be using acid-free mats. So this is also dry mounted to a piece of foam board, so this will never wrinkle, never warp. You're going to put it in that frame, a 16 by 24 frame, lock down the back of it, and it's going to stay perfectly flat, perfectly white forever. So this is literally one of the oldest photos I've ever taken. This is a picture of the driving gear on the 844, the Union Pacific Steam Locomotive 844, and I believe I took this picture in 2007, so almost 20 years ago I took this picture. I brought it to a lot of art fairs for a lot of time, and then when I kind of switched away from doing the mounted matting, I put these aside, and they just kind of been sitting. So it's kind of a cool close-up of a train. I have sold the print of this a lot, but for some reason, when people, they don't want to pay the extra money for the mounting and matting when you're actually getting a really good deal because the dry mounting and the acid-free mat. So I was selling these for $80. I used to sell all this size mounted matted for $80, and I switched to a non-mounted, non-matted one because sometimes people would say, well, I like the picture, but I don't like the mat. And I don't want the mat or the frame. A lot of times I don't frame stuff because I don't want the frame or the mat to turn people off. So, but I was selling these for $80. I'm going to mark them way down. They'll be way less than $80 when you get to the art fair on Saturday. Not quite sure yet. That's the next part of the afternoon is starting to fill out the price tags. But it's going to be at least half $80, I'm going to guess. At least half. This one is a random size. I come across some of these pictures that I have no idea why random size, but that's what I had. This is the same size, 16 by 20, fit into a 16 by 20. It's mounted, matted, you can see perfectly white. It does have some, the bags that they're in get kind of beat up and scratched over the years, but guaranteed when we take this out of here, the mat, the mount, the picture are all going to look perfect. Any kind of defects are on the bag. This is a super lucky barn photo I found, just kind of out cruising along after a snowstorm. The snow had started melting off the barn, so you have the texture of the roof with the white snow next to it, and then you have the windmill shadow. I like this picture. I would still print this picture. I think, I better check, but I think this is still on my website. But like I said, for the matting and mounting, just they don't ever sell. So. And back in the day, I used to print so many of the same picture, and now most years, unless it's something that is guaranteed that I always sell at every art fair, which is very, very, very few prints, I don't have more than one or sometimes two. This is the same day as the other barn, but this was earlier in the morning, the other one was later in the afternoon. So also another day where the snow just kind of looked through the trees. I don't know if this is the most spectacular picture I've ever taken by any means, but it just kind of has a nice winter scene. Oh, and that's the other thing with snow pictures. Hardly ever at an art fair will people buy pictures of snow, fresh snow. They don't like it. I don't know why you live in Nebraska and you hate snow so much. You probably ought to move out of here because we get plenty of it, but people say, oh, snow, and they just stop looking, they put the picture down and they'll walk away. It's happened so many times, it's unbelievable how that happens. So I still do have a few snow photos there, but it's just funny how much it turns people off. Another super old photo, but I really like this one. It's just a tank car downtown, north of downtown, cloudy day, kind of like today. But the top of the rails are all shiny, and you got the skyline behind it. Again, this is probably from 2008, 2009, at least 15 years ago, if not a little before that. This is a really old market photo, probably also from 2008, 2009 time frame, before this building burnt down and was rebuilt. Here's one of back when UNO played football. Back when they had a football stadium. This is now torn down, or not torn down, but reconfigured into a soccer stadium, soccer field. These bleachers are all gone. Looks a lot different now, but a relic from the past. I took this from a helicopter. This would have been like some of those Rosenblatt photos I have, long before drones were around. So again, this one normally I had for $80. It's going to be probably half that. And then this another old market photo, similar to this one, but one's from the morning, one's from the afternoon. Kind of got a backlight coming and hitting the side of that building, where this one, light's hitting more of the east side of the building. So a couple different, a lot of people like to look at the old market photos, but a lot of times they don't sell necessarily well. A few, but I don't know if it's like people just like to look at it but not have it hang in their house, or there's just so many of them out there, which it could be. So I still plan on having an old market photo here or there at the art fair. Probably not these. I have better ones than a couple of these older ones, but these would still make a really nice picture for an office or or home. But so that's the pile. I found this since the last video I made. I still have basically everything exactly where nothing over here has moved in the last month. So I still have it all. I haven't decided yet on how much I'm going to mark those down, but like I said, last art fair I had them at $2.95. They're ready to hang. They're mounted to a piece of wood. They're laminated so you can touch them. You're not going to mess them up. So those we've marked down. I think I'm going to dig out my old print bin that I had for these giant loose prints. Mark those down. This is still something I would sell, but I just don't have any way to really normally display it. It takes up a lot of room at the art fair, so I'm going to try to get them moved to a new home. But oh, then one other picture I didn't mention. You probably don't ever see this because usually when I'm sitting here, I'm zoomed in more. Maybe you've caught a corner of it, but this is also another art fair piece that I was like, all right, I got this cool picture of Half Dome in Yosemite National Park. I got a really expensive mat. That mat is like 3 times thicker than a normal mat. I got a nice frame around it. Took it to a ton of art fairs. I had a guy that like acted like he showed up every art fair and acted like he was going to buy it, but he never did. So when we finished the office here, I was like, that's a perfect place. I'm going to hang it up there, and it's just going to be my picture in my office. So that one, not necessarily for sale, but if you're really interested, you can shoot me an email, brad@bradwilliamsphotography.com. But I really appreciate everyone tuning in. Like I said, go back if you're interested in seeing the pictures I've marked, getting ready to mark down. Go back. I also found a Creighton basketball one that's I forgot to mention. It's probably from the Doug McDermott era. I'd have to zoom in, but I can just tell by what is on the court and what is not on the court, and where photographers are allowed to sit, that this was probably quite a number of years ago, back when Doug McDermott was still playing there. So it was after they got the new scoreboard. The original scoreboard's gone, but the court still says CHI Health Center Omaha. The court says First National Bank Omaha instead of FNBO, and there's just scorers tables are in different spots. So pretty sure this was probably McDermott's junior or senior year. And I'll have to find some way to mount that so that it doesn't get damaged if I bring it to the art fair. But if you're interested in that, shoot me an email, brad@bradwilliamsphotography.com. I think that one is 18 by no, that's probably 16 by 24. I can give you an exact size if you're interested. Shoot me an email. Again, I hope everyone shows up to the art fair, and not even to buy pictures from me, but just get out and see all the great artists. It's going to be the biggest art fair since before COVID. There's going to be a ton of artists there, and the weather is looking absolutely perfect. I think Saturday's supposed to be 69, and Sunday is supposed to be 72. So perfect art fair weather. Light breeze, mostly sunny, maybe a few clouds in the afternoon, especially on Sunday. But the weather's looking perfect, and like I mentioned last time, there is no Nebraska football game during the art fair, which is awesome. Can't wait for this weekend. I think it's going to be a great time. I'm really looking forward to it. Always have fun doing art fairs. Even when I don't sell a lot of pictures, it's still fun talking to people about the art and just being out and sharing what I do with people. I really enjoy it. So again, thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you again next month.